Hey, Rick Grimes for President here again, bringing you my second video, which is The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 2 review. The episode title is Sick. Now, the reason this is titled Sick, of course, is because the last episode we saw Rick cut off one of Hershel's legs due to Hershel being bit by a zombie. And Hershel's passed out right now in a coma, something along those lines. So right now they're really focusing on him and, of course, the new prisoners that they've just found out have been surviving in the cafeteria for a good 2-3 months. So the beginning of this episode, you know, it goes back and they're taking care of Hershel. They're moving him back to the rest of the group to try to help him out. And Carol somehow is an expert doctor on this episode, so she knows exactly what to do, which that's good. I don't know where she got her training at, but I mean, I guess it's common sense to stop the blood and whatnot. And the prisoners, there's 4 of them, just like in the comics, except in the comics they're a little bit different. In the comics you have Axel, Thomas, Andrew, and Dexter. And I believe the guy with the mustache is Axel. He's like the biker guy. He's kind of the nice one of the group that kind of agrees with what the group says. Then you have the other 3, but in the comics they're kind of mean to begin with and don't accept that the Rick and his group are there. But the Latino guy, which is the leader, I suppose, of the prisoners in this group, he doesn't want Rick there, obviously, and Rick really doesn't care. Rick's just like, we're staying, we found this prison, we're using it, and the other guy was like, no, we're here first, and Rick basically says, yeah, well, you were here for the wrong reason, we're here for the right reason. So Rick just kind of tells him how it is, and this episode, Rick just turns into a complete bad A. Like, not gonna lie, I watched this episode and I was like, oh yeah, go Rick, and same thing with Carl. So basically this episode's focused around Rick dealing with the prisoners because he agrees to let the prisoners stay, and so they go to clear out cell block, I believe it's A, since Rick and his group has already cleared out cell block C. And along the way, one of the prisoners, the bigger black guy, he gets bit, and they're trying to decide whether or not to put him down, and the Latino leader type guy just nails him in the back of the head and puts him down right then and there. And Rick kind of starts getting weary about him right after he does this. He's like, I don't know if I should trust this guy or not. So that happens, and they try to clear out the rest of the place. And they go to this place where they need to open the doors, and Rick tells the main leader of the prisoners that he's going to open the door and to only open one door. And when he does this, of course, the leader of the prisoners opens both doors like an idiot. And when he does this, Rick's like, I only said one door. All the zombies rush in at one time. It's just a big massacre. They're trying to survive, get it off that. They're killing the zombies. And the leader of the prisoners there, he grabs a zombie and pushes him on top of Rick. And Rick gets really, really pissed about this. They end up taking out all the rest of the zombies. And the dude just stands there and he's like, sorry man, I didn't mean to. And Rick's like, oh yeah, you didn't mean to. And the guy, he's like, well, shit happens. So Rick looks at him straight in the eyes with a machete in his hand. And he goes, yeah, shit does happen. And just clocks him right on top of the head, just kills him. And I thought Daryl or somebody would step in and stop Rick. I didn't think that the prisoners would die that way. It's not how it happens in the comics. In the comics, one of them dies in a zombie overtake, and one of them, Rick, beats the crap out of him and feeds his body to the zombies. Axel stays with the group for a while and then dies when Woodbury attacks. Spoilers again. Like I said, all my videos are going to have spoilers, so just to warn you. But it was a really good episode. Rick kind of took his role as, I'm not taking any crap. I'm going to survive. I'm going to keep my group alive. I don't care who you are. You mess with me, you're going to die. Then you go back to Hershel. Everybody's sitting there trying to guard Hershel, and they need supplies from the infirmary. So they're all with Herschel, and Carl comes back. He has this big bag full of supplies, and Lori looks at him and is like, "How'd you get that?" And Carl said, "Well, I went by myself, went to the infirmary, killed 2 walkers, and got the supplies." And Lori just jumps on him, says, "We had a whole group, and this is what happened to Herschel, and you want to go by yourself in a prison that we don't know anything about and try to get supplies." And Carl's like, "We needed supplies, and I got what we needed for the group, and now Herschel's going to be okay, or hopefully going to be okay." And Carl's like, "So you just need to stay off my back because I did what I thought was right." And that was a really good decision, in my opinion, by Carl. So Lori just needs to calm down and understand that she's not a good mom, really. She hasn't been a good wife or a good mom, and she needs to understand that. I know Rick and Carl are kind of being a little bit hard on her, but I mean, it is her fault in the long run. But we might see a change. Rick and Lori aren't really getting along right now. Hopefully, I hope to see. In the comics, they kind of didn't get along either, and then something really controversial happens in Woodbury that makes Rick realize, hey, I need to take care of my wife and kid. They're most important to me, and they kind of start getting back together. I'm not going to ruin anything for you there. I'm just going to do this and throw up one hand, so all you comic book readers kind of know what I mean. So that happens. And then you kind of see Herschel. Rick takes a precautionary measure and gives Carl a set of handcuffs to handcuff Herschel to the bed, just in case he were to turn into a zombie. So my roommate's in here. Say hi, Zach. Hi, Zach. Just for a precautionary measure, which was a smart idea. And they try to take care of him, and he ends up taking a really deep breath, and you think he dies. And so after you think he dies, Lori, goes in. She actually steps up and tries to give him CPR. She does this, and you see that it's working, and then you see Herschel just jump up at her. You think he's a zombie. Made me jump out of my seat. I thought he was going to turn into a zombie, but, I kind of didn't, and I kind of did. That's not how it happens in the comics. He does meet his fate eventually in the comics. So all you Herschel lovers, he's probably going to go eventually. Not everybody can live in a zombie apocalypse. So, but it was a really good episode. I really liked it. It ended with a pretty big cliffhanger. Rick ended up letting 2 of the prisoners stay, and he trusts them now. And you see somebody creeping on Carol as she's outside by herself. Not sure really who that is, or I'm thinking it's probably one of the prisoners, because in the comics, one of the prisoners is a peeping Tom. So maybe one of those guys. We'll see. And then you see the teaser for episode 3, which is going to focus on Woodbury, the governor, Michonne, Andrea, and Merle's coming back.
Merle!
So, hope you guys enjoy Merle, and I'm really looking forward to episode 3. And like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy, guys.